Okay, let's. Onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu.
Okay. Just here. Okay, going front and back. Side to side. Into rotations. Into the wave. Just letting the body hang down. First starting just with a swing front and back. Let's let the upper body release. Side to side with the arms. You're making circles. And both ways. Working with figure of eight pattern through the hip. And last one, just really work any direction. Just try to pass the whole movement through the spine. Nice and rooted in the ground. Start to slowly play with bringing the body up and down. You're going to go a little bit kind of halfway up and down. Let the arms out. And then you come back as well. So rolling the body up, rolling the body down. Put the body back. Let the body go here. Just freely play with different movements. Let the arms follow the hips. Yeah. And just coming back, fully standing. Again, just very loosely play with all the directions. Rotations, sideways, front and back, up and down. Good. Okay, and then we're just going to these swings. So first one, just draining through the arms down. Letting the knees be nice and flexible all the time. Especially put a little bit of focus into the elbows. The elbows really heavy. You go. Yeah. Yeah. Relax. Good. Okay, coming side to side, working the hip. The hand swing across the body. One hand to the shoulder and one hand to the back hip. You feel that heaviness in the elbows. Front and back. And then working with circles on the shoulders. Working one way. And you get this idea of the elbows being nice and heavy. Swing up and then drain down. Drain down. Down. And then changing sides, changing direction. Okay, and then last one, just play with these freely. So I give you a few ideas with it. The first one you can play with is like raising it up and then bringing the arm across. A little bit like slapping down. This. So you've got like the first, like mixing the first and the second. So you've got the arm swinging up You can do this just one side, you can do this with both sides. Swing it up, drop it down. Swing it up, drop it down. You're letting the hips come up and then letting the hip curl, draw the arm down. So the arm gets dragged down. And you can do this like one arm, cross, cross, or you can do like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So. There we go. Just play with it. Yeah. That's it. There we go. Yeah, try both sides, try different things. Try to feel all the time with this that the lower body's really rooted. So what you don't do is kind of throw the body out. In this case, really feel that the lower body's very settled, and you're going to initiate it from the hip, and then especially when you do these downwards movements, really allow the hips to settle down, and then raising up, settling down, raising up, settling down, raising up, settling. Allow, again, it's focusing on the down. Let the feeling hit the ground first. So the feeling of boom, and then the movement of the arm, boom, down. Just get the timing of it. Also the same when you raise the arm. Feel that the feeling hits down, 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 down. So there's this constant feeling of sinking through the body into the ground. Imagine like the arm's like a branch on a tree. The body needs to be very rooted. Boom. And then the arm can be very flexible, very soft. Okay, the other one you can play with is going up this way and then across this way. This is like doing this one, but you're introducing a twist into the hip as well. So you've got like this, 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 this. Yes, and just let the arm be very loose. Almost like a ragdoll kind of arm. Very, very loose. Yeah. Just mixing the arms. You let the arm really be caught by the hip work. Hip work. Hip work. Hip work. That's it. Good. That's it. Very nice. Great. And then the last one you can play with is really coiling into it. Yeah, and then coiling out, coming down. So it's really like this one, but you're introducing at this point a rotation up again. So you've got a big coiling movement, and then up, and then let it come down again. So yes. So when you go into this one, you kind of coil first. Coil in, release it, let it go. Coil in, release it, let it go. Coil in, release, let it go. Yes. Yes, you can also play with it. You can allow the arm to, you can send the arm wherever you want, but get the sense of having a coil here and then just release it up somewhere else. You can also think about these kind of cocky movements. Yeah. Let it go. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Just give it a play. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Great. That's it. Good. Right. There we go. And last, just play with all of them. So, and there's loads more you can play with, kind of infinite amount. Just play with now both arms. So you can do alternating things with the arms. Let one hand go, or you can work both arms kind of together. Just get this kind of sense that whatever you do, you're going to let the hips go. You can also come back to these very basic movements, just this. Let it go. This. 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 Just feel that the arms are going to be nice and loose, but also heavy, really heavy in the body. So the looseness in the arms not infecting the core stability. Just let the core be very stable. That's that. You feel like a little bit, start to move the feet as well. Very simple. Just kind of moving the body around. Let the feet just catch the movement. Catch the movement. Come in, catch the movement. That's it. Yeah. Good. There we go. Yeah. Okay, good. So we'll do a few now, basically coming into structure, but do this very lightly. So just playing with the arms. The first one is letting the hands just drop into this position. So really like this kind of tiny ankle position. Really focus it, in this case, on the elbow. So I want the joints to have the same sense of flexibility and suppleness through it. So I don't want now the form to really tighten the whole structure of the arm. So just play with raising the arms up and draining them. Raising the arms up. The key is going to be what's happening in the hips again. So get the hips stabilized first. Get the hips stable, and then the arms go into it. And again, focus much more on the elbow, so the feeling should be there. There. So the elbows are really draining in, and the arms can kind of follow that movement. Just play with it a little bit. We tend to focus on the hands when we do these movements, but if I focus on the hand too much, it's going to pull me off. Pull my structure out. Get a sense that the actual power of the arms actually coming from the lower back. There. That's it. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Okay, when you do this, see if you can get a feeling that when you land the hand or when you land the joint, it just lands down. So it's the feeling like this, without the feeling of something like that. So kind of going through them up and bringing the hand up. Just let the hand as if it's going to just fall down. So it's just going to kind of there. If it was to hit something, it would just go boom into the movement. It's difficult because there's nothing really there to hit, but just get the sense that the hand's going to fall into it. The hand's going to slot into the hip work. Go. Also feel you don't need to kind of come up so high as well, so you can play with really just this. Also just one hand. Also just working the feet. Just play with it, break it down a little bit. Yeah, just kind of get that feeling. That's it. Okay, I think a little bit what you're looking for now is strong extension. So you want to keep the body open joints, but I don't want to go to these kind of positions where I'm basically still within my own system, or within this kind of structure. So think about it a little bit like reaching out with the arms. This is where we'll bring the fingers into it. So get the sense now that the fingers are also going to open out. The main thing with this kind of feeling is that it doesn't lock all this joint. So really get the sense that that's in place, and then there. So there's a really sense now that the fingers or the hands opening will really give you a sense of extension out. But the extension's not only in the arm, in the fingers. The extension's the whole feeling coming out as you go. So just play with it a little bit. Here, there. Again, you can also just break it down, just play with the hand. Dong, da, 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 da. There we go. It's going to be really rooted, very heavy, but really with a strong sense of extension out. That's it. Yeah, there we go, there we go, there we go. Yeah, if you imagine where this movement kind of comes from into the sense of sword work, if you think about the sword work, it's really coming to a point. So you've really got this kind of feeling. So everything's channeling towards a point. The problem when we go to Taijutsu work is because the arms start to open out, I start to disperse. So everything starts kind of open out into these kind of directions. But really feel that what you're doing is the same thing with the sword. This, you're doing here. So I'm still on that feeling, I'm actually hitting something here. This. So the whole feeling's is coming towards a point. This. It's a bit clearer when we go to these kind of movements. This, but see if you can get it here. And if you want, you can also just play with that kind of movement. That. But it should really have a feeling of vroom. The triangle's really focusing in on into the ground. Down. Or vroom. I get lost here somewhere. A little bit spread. That's it. Yeah, good. Good. Okay, we'll go to the next one, which is basically working with the hips now, like in a yokomen position. So imagine with the sword coming into this position, what you're going to do is just work the hand here. So actually don't think about the hand again, just think about the structure of the arm, keep the hand quite loose and just focus on it's really about the connection first between the hip and the elbow. So really feel that what's happening between the hip and the elbow of this, and show from here, there. So it's something where this connection is very flexible. This. And just work on a kind of looseness through the whole structure. So this. And don't worry at all about coming into a position. Just get the joint there. Try both sides. That's it. Yeah, try it. The point of this one also, don't feel that you're getting to position and then releasing it. Get into position, releasing it. Feel that actually the whole part, the whole movement's actually really part of it. So this draw back we also use later. So if you think about whenever we make these kind of movements, drawing back with the hip, you also need the extension to be active later. So really feel that this part of the movement, even if you do it very simply like this. It's like, again, doing the sword work, all the parts of the movement are really essential. And we basically use them later. So just think that you're always training the connection. Okay, and then again, just come in a little bit more into the hand now. So allow the hand now to take a little bit of focus. As it comes in, there. Comes in, there. Comes in, there. Yes. Now, rather than the back of the hand we were focusing on before, what you're going to focus on is this edge of the hand. So now there's a real sharpness to the hand. This. And if you want to start really easily, start by really finding the center with the body. This will give you a really clear idea of the connection between the hip work and the hand. Basically allows you to really coil in, find the center. Without needing to fix the joint, it will just slot into place. There. And just try both sides again. Getting everything in. There. Great. Okay, now just bringing the body in. What you're going to do now is roll to the back and the front. You're going to find this position, roll in, and then roll to the back. Come in here, roll to the back, here, roll to the back, here. So you're just practicing the rotation, and actually not really about the rotation, it's really about just changing the side. So it's really just about getting the hips engaging, feet change, getting the feet in place, hips, and then the hands. Good, good. And really with a sense of a good, strong focus forward there, but really rooted in the back of the body. This. And just play with it. Don't feel you need to change every time. Just focus on the connections. There we go. Okay, good. And then it's just the same, but really what you do now is you find the connection. This is really like the first movement of 𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒂 𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂. So when you go in now, you're going to rotate and find the extension and then release it. Rotate in, find the extension, release it. Rotate in, find the extension. And both sides are going to kind of light up. So you just start in a neutral position, slide the body in, roll to the back. Slide the body in, roll to the back. And really something flexible through the whole joint. So this whole movement, let it be very flexible. And then you kind of come into the structure. Yes. This. There we go. Okay, we'll take a step back. Think about 𝒊𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 here you get the hips in here, and then you introduce a direction into the hands. So, and the hands are going to follow that motion. So you've got this. Just play with this. So you can also do this with the feet. This. And then we're starting a little bit to go into Ikkyo work, but just work on this idea that the hip is going to communicate the direction to the hand. So it's not the hand doing it. So especially when we come to these, it's not that the arms do it. It's that the hip really gives them the hand's direction. So just play with it a little bit here. It's really the same stuff as the swinging. So this kind of work, and then the hip introduces the hip directs the hand. So just get the sense that hip directs, hip directs, hip directs. And you might find this easier with no footwork. It's like 𝒊𝒂𝒂𝒂. You've got that, and then the hip creates the motion. Hip creates the motion. Hip. 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 That's it. That's it, exactly. Good. Nice. Great. Good. And then just coming back into the Morotodori. So we'll go into the last part of it. So find that rotation. Again, the hip's going to really allow the hip to control that movement. And then again, establish the base in the foot. Let the hips take the hands over. Really feel all the time the movement's rooted in the hip work. So everything you do with the hands, really trying to communicate it from the hip. So you've got one spiraling and then spiraling over. Nice, nice. Okay. Okay, so the big difference now between these kind of swinging movements, these and even the kind of Tanahenko stuff, when you go into koku work, it's really about spiraling through the joint. So really get a sense that the first movement, it's got a very clear spiral through the whole joint. So there's like a clack, 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 clack. And then the second movement also, what I don't do is just pass the hand through the space. So get the sense that you're coiling in and then coiling out of it. Okay, if I do this with the elbow, it's the hand does nothing. So it's really just the elbow doing this. And the elbow comes through. It will work if you're very strong, but it won't work if you're not so strong and you've got a really stronger person. So get a sense that what you're trying to do is communicate again. It's about passing a spiral from the ground through the other person. So you've got this kind of quality. Yes. So let the handwork really pass this spiral from the ground. And then it's not about my power. It's not about my strength in the elbows, which is really going to always only ever going to be limited to me. So get a sense that what you're doing is actually passing a spiral from the ground. Yes. Yes. And just feel free to break the exercise apart totally as well. That's it. That's it, that's it, that's it. Nice. Good.
Mom. Hallo.
Okay, we'll do an exercise which really emphasizes this also. You can think about Urumi Nage to do this, but or Tenshi Nage, but just get a sense now you're going to take a step back, and at the same time you're going to coil the body down. So I'll show you the full thing. You're going to go here and then raising up, stepping in. Okay, so now you've got a full rotation with the joint. So you're rolling up, stretching it up, and then the whole joint's going to clack down. So you've got this kind of motion now. The key thing is don't let this happen with the shoulder. So don't let the shoulder lead this movement. Let the hip lead it, and the joint's just going to pass that movement through. Again, it's really about the power base in the ground. You spiral through. So just roll the body back. Roll in. Pass it through. And you want the joint to be really in structure, but especially the shoulder. Give it a try. Just try one side. That's it. try and get a sense that even though it's quite a linear movement, get a sense that it's a bit multi-dimensional. So what I don't want to do is like gung, 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 gung. This is in a way that's still quite linear. So get a sense that what you're doing is really like coiling through the whole body. So as you go, everything's coiling. So it's really got this sense that you're really doing this kind of work, not just kind of boom, boom. So it's not like position A, position B. It's really got this kind of quality. If you feel like it, bring the other hand in, because it might help you also kind of balance the movement. And that hand can really do what it wants, but just get it. It's kind of quality. It's really low and exaggerated, but there. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Feel your power waves over the top. Over the top. Ah, there we go. Nice. That's it. Okay, great. So think now, keep that kind of circularity in the movement and the spiral work, but just focus a little bit more now on the body. So the central of the body, you're going to pass it back, and then you're going to press it forward into the movement. So just feel a little bit, also like number 2 with the sword work. We go like this movement, and then like this, really cutting the body in. So get a sense now of the direction of the movement. The arm's going to do this kind of stuff. So the arm's going to coil over and roll down with it, but think that the body's going to pass through the whole structure. So it's not kind of circular with the body this way. It's actually quite direct. So let the body, the feeling in the body is just going to pass through this way. You just get this kind of sense. The arm's making a path for the body in this case. Yes. Yes. Just allow it to have a little bit more emphasis, direction forward. There. Good. Okay, just play a little bit freely. If you think about, if you know 𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒕 techniques, or you've got some very clear in the head, play with them. If not, play with this one, or just really feel that you can roll it through freely. So just think about techniques that you've got using this kind of motion. This. You also have double-handed kind of movement, but just play a little bit freely and a little bit with the hip work. This, and keeping this feeling of spiraling constantly with the hand. Whatever you do, communicate it to the hip. You think about really simple techniques. Again, trying to emphasize where the power is going to go. push. Yeah. Very nice. Nice. So. Okay, again, think about just one thing when you do this one, especially this movement. So you've got this position, you've got the movement that comes up from the ground. So you've got this kind of movement. Try and feel that that's also, it's got a kind of impact quality to it. So it's got the quality that I want this to happen with the person. So in order for that to happen, it really needs a quality where I kind of get this. So it's got the sense that when you go in, I'm actually trapping the person. So it's not a loose movement at all. So it's not a kind of movement like that, where I'm already starting the wheel over. It's actually, it's a trap to the person. So I want the person caught in the feet in this kind of position here. And then the rest of the technique follows from that. But just get the sense that what this movement is really a trap coming in. So I'm trapping the person into the structure. And then the power is going to go over the top of the structure. This, and then around the back this way. So just emphasize, the last few, just emphasize, you can also just do it from here. Just get the sense that this raise is a kind of trapping movement. So you're trapping the person in and over the top. So they're trapped in the feet and that the spine's being drawn out, which really requires me to really be in the ground from it. I can't do it. I can't trap the person by being here. I want to do this and then coil it over, pass the movement over the back and then down. Those three. Just play a little bit with it. Originally, this technique was a total backbreaker technique. So it was to trap the person in the feet, break the spine, and then break the spine on the knee totally. So originally, this technique was very super brutal. It was made a lot more user-friendly, uke-friendly.
User-friendly.
User-friendly. That's it. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Okay, this is what we'll do. A really simple one. It trains the same dynamic in a very simple way. So if you know we've got one of these techniques in when you take the sword. So when we're doing bukidori, so what you do is you come to the side and you bring the hand up into the face. So you take control of the sword with this hand, and then you bring this hand right up into the face. This is showing a kind of similar dynamic in a very simplistic way. So what you want to do in this case is just use the front hand. You cut down with the front hand, and then get from the ground, the palm comes up into the face. So just play with this. You cut down with this, and then from here, from the back leg, this comes in. So it's got this same dynamic. It's less of a trap and it's straight into a strike, but it's got this same function. So it's really coming from the ground, down and up, down and up. So it's got this kind of like boom. You really want, in this case, the palm's going to hit the chin this way. So it's going to go right up underneath. This. this, right underneath. Just give it a try. It's really, really simple. Very effective technique. I don't know why we don't train it in Taijutsu. There's other styles that actually train this technique in a Taijutsu setting, and it's a really super effective technique. Really, really very effective. Super simple. That's it. That's it. Okay, the main connection here is between the feet, so the feet to the hands. So in this case, you land in. Now, the connection's with the back foot to the front hand. So this cuts across this. So feel that the hip's right in between it, but the feeling is this strikes with the power from the ground here. This. So it's this power. This power. It's not, in this case, this power coming just from the arm, or even just like that. So it's really the sense that you bring the back leg in and then round through the back leg. Originally, this technique was done either to stand on the foot with the front foot. So I stand on the foot and then I trap them totally into it. But now when we teach it, we teach to go straight through the body. So feel that what you're doing is grounding the body and then shooting through the whole posture. Goes to here. But really feel this kind of connection. This, 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 this. Go straight in. So you want your body between the ground and the other person. That's it, that's it, that's it. It's the same with any strike. So you want a ground base and a strike. Was. There we go, there we go, there we go.
See you later.
Thanks, see you soon.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Good. That's it, that's it, that's it. Yeah, and then the other thing, this is quite tricky to think about, but get the feeling that what we tend to do when we do these movements, this is why actually it's best to train these always slow, especially with a partner as well. What we train is sometimes we train like with the idea like we're hitting the person here and we stop at this point, but really feel that what you're going to do is create the connection and then press through it. So that the movement, the power of the movement's actually not in that part, it's actually already here. So feel that the connection's actually already established here. And then what you're going to do is press through it. So feel that there's a point about here when I've made the connection. It's the same with the 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒃. So the power of the throw is not there. It's in the connection here and then that. It's the same with the 𝒂𝒂𝒃, that. It's not in the bracing kind of part, or the kind of what looks like the impact part. So the power is not going to be left for that. It's going to be here, that. So really feel where the contact point would be in the movement, where you would make contact and then press through it. The criteria is this thing of striking through the target. This is really the kind of the same thing, but you're going to kind of press through the ground. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Good. Very nice, very nice. Good. Okay, take a BOKKEN. We'll do a little bit of less. Great. Okay, we did a little bit of movement here. So what you're going to do here, just focus on this cut. So it's just here, this in. So really, really simple cut, but really the same kind of feeling. Source the movement from the ground and press it in. So very direct, and you're working at a very simplistic cut. So now it's not finding the back. Just allow the sword to come in, down. So it's really got a very, very simple structure. Down, landing the cut. So really about the weight of the body. Again, with this feeling of compressing through the ground. There. There. It's got a really, really, really direct quality. There we go, there we go, there we go. That's it. So. Nice, nice, nice. Good. Okay, so we'll do a short form with it. So it's very similar to the Kimusubi no Tachi, but stripping away all the kind of partner work elements to it. So the first move, just sliding in, so it's very direct, coming in, thrusting out, and then just cutting onto the left side this way. So just the first three movements. So this really pressing from the ground, in, press, in, and then chain, cut on the left side. Play a little bit with it. You can also wedge on and off the line if you want. So if you were to do that, it would be wedging off to the right. Yeah, and then wedging off to the left side. You can also just play with it straight down the line, just focusing on the hip work. This, this, this. Just coming in. Just play with it a little bit, just those three moves. Again, really concentrating on the hip work, hips to hands, passing the movement into the hip, into the sword. That's it, that's it, that's it. Very nice. Nice, great. Very nice.
I'm in the place.
That's it. Okay, we'll add a couple more movements to it now. So when you go from here, you go in, thrust, left side, and then from here you're going to press the hips up, and then to here. So you're in this position now. We'll add another movement for it, not to finish here, but to step through to the back. Yeah, and then you can go to the other, you can just go back or go from this position. So you go here, 1, 2, 3, pressing up, changing to the right side, 4, and then through to the back. The new movement's now rising up, pressing, cutting down. Circus here. 1, 3, 4, 5. Nice. Tricky. Tricky. There you go. Yeah, just imagine that last move, you've got the position here, basically holding the wrist, and then as you go, what you're going to do is slide through, strike, press it through, and then hit the back. So you go here, 1, 2, 3. There's a kind of hidden strike through it. If you imagine passing through, it's like striking with the elbow as you go in. So it's got this kind of hidden movement. So it goes from here, really comes from the hip again, here, back. 1, 2, 3. Got a little bit of a hidden movement. 1, 2, 3. Feels that. 1, 2. There we go. That's Okay, we'll do one more just to open the movement out. So just on that last move, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now from here, really take a big step over, slice through. So you're going to do this movement, this, and through here, and then just finishing with your coming in. So you've got now 6 moves. Goes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Big movement. 5. It's like a really high. From the high position, keep the high position. Roll into it. Nice big movement. That's it. Good. That's it. Good. Last minute, so just play with whatever combination you like, whatever movement. Keep it nice and simple, keep it short, but just play with compressing it, compressing it, compressing it. Really keeping this relationship again very clear with the ground. All the power being channeled from the ground. In. 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 Whatever you do, notice that relationship. go around there. Very good. Great. Okay, we'll bow up. Hi. どうもありがとうございました。
どうもありがとうございました。Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Michael.